believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Thus, if we compare the rates of dust accumulation
I still don't get it,
inside
Piotr.
segment to outside,
Run me through it
we
again.
gain minute
There's
insight
nothing to
into
run
the
through.
grand plan.
I brought up your state with one of the exemplars. She told me to wait. Minutes later, she returned with the medicaments.
No, I can't believe that. Free medical
There is
care
an
for
art to
refugees?
cooking. Alas,
We ain't
I
even
am a
pulling
man
our
of
weight.
science, not...
Welcome! The Protectorate have only been told a watered-down revision of Order philosophy.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former aunties like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
The future of nourishment is here. Advocate chips, shelf-stable and intestinally safe. Tomorrow's favorite snack is available today from the Order of the Ascendant. What you think about, you bring about. The Order advocates for no less than 6 hours of uninterrupted rumination on the university.
The Grand Plan. What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The Consul tried to kill presiding Bishop Ruth Vassar.
Oh. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won, you won, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf.
Oh, then you know more than us, I guess. Boss Tilda knows all sorts of funny business about this place.
Two of us? We just try to keep our heads down.
My noggin short. Ow!
Up to no good?
Good.
You got business? No? Move on. Reckon you at least know how to oil the gears of Ingress. Likely you ain't some Protectorate or Order stoolie. But I'm still gonna be watching. Go ahead.
Salutations, friend. Not many find their way into my presence, but those that do possess only the finest of tastes. I do hope you'll pardon the rigmarole it took to meet me. The Order has such an antiquated philosophy on the smuggling of contraband. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide, and Sub Rosa delivers, at only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Oh no, I'm not getting fooled on that again. There's always a convenience fee or some such applied after the fact. We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. Feast thine eyes on the merchandise! Don't do anything foolish.
You strike me as the upstanding sort. You lost?
Don't make me call Mapother and Mudge over. They don't like no fighting for free.
My noggin sure is sore.
Great. Don't tell me you're one of those drones.
Look, I'm not with Auntie anymore. Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Talk about the first quarter.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling up. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Don't want it, don't need it. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish.
Keep your
Behavior
behavior
within the ordered affecting parameters. There's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Oyster is looking pretty good right about now.
Wasteland devoid of life? No. Arcadia is doomed. Plain and simple.
dissonance. If we factor for random element algorithmic dissonance, tonal accentuate, how could it be incalculable? Why, the very idea is preposterous.
Keep your digits where I can see them.
With soup, as with life, the ratio of flavor to spoonful is a delicate balance.
Since the schism, the Protectorate have rewritten history to exclude Ruth Bassar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She...
Yes. Well, if the Archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time.
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? The Doctor? The questionable types from Sub Rosa? Investigated the containers? If not, do. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. I can tend to your injuries, provided you have the bits to compensate me for my time and skill. We're short on everything, I'm afraid, including generosity. Many thanks. Now, hold still. You might experience some momentary discomfort. Right as rain. Now, will there be anything else? Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
Show your work or shove off.
Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Antes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. I mean, we ain't gonna give up our cots for what could be the enemy. We're doing what we gotta do to keep our heads on our shoulders. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. I'd like to believe that. But frankly, I got some other concerns. I went through this myself when Auntie's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? In all my years, I ain't encountered many folk who would extend a hand and expect nothing in return. I mean, I'd not have asked for your help with my graft if I didn't have something to offer in exchange. Well, maybe I misjudged the Earth Directorate after all. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out. How personal are we talking? Well, like I said, we were both in the same unit. Me as a combat medic, him as a machine gunner. Everyone in my unit was from Tau Ceti, so we already had that in common. And we served on the front lines, which made us look out for one another that much more. See, most of us were laborers, and we just got our first real shot at something greater. We wanted to make a name for ourselves, and what better way to do that than become a hero? Our onboarders promised that if we demonstrated exceptionalism, showed initiative, that we'd get promoted quick. And our days of living in squalor would be far behind us. It ain't like they forced us to join up. We did that on our own. And it said in our contract that they could send us wherever we were needed. Can't complain if where we're needed is in a trench staring down the barrels of a minigun. All right. Course. Reckon learned that the hard way. Oh, they did. The VPs set their own. I don't know if I would have made it out alive without him. Maybe I'll tell him that over a beer one day. Praise him in front of the whole saloon. Well, he kept me clear-headed. Every so often there'd be a lull in the bombardments and I'd hear voices all across the field, calling out for aid, for mama, for death. Almost got my head clean taken off when I tried to scramble out of the foxhole the first night. I heard a call for help and moved on instinct. Damn foolish of me, really. Ortiz told me not to panic, to wait till he could provide cover, to just shout first aid instructions where I could. It was too valuable to fall in battle, he said. It was a rough few nights at first, knowing I couldn't help folk who needed it. And the reward for that torment was my life.
Don't bother conversating unless you're prepared to cite your sources.
I predict
Oh.
with an 8.
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rolo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. As a laugh, everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done, had told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
We're not going anywhere! Oh. Administrator Agarwal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come. And you must be the one everyone's talking about. The great mediator who was foretold.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
Speaking as a representative of the Order, we will abide by the Mediator's decision if you do the same.
Agreed.
Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands. Speak on, then.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
Quite right. Rolo's co-occupant might have also supported our warnings, had he heeded them.
I don't know. You ask me? When it comes to these Order predictions, there's a lot of room between a probable and definite outcome. You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
A bit rude, don't you think? But since this mediation was foretold, I will not dispute your findings.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
Fair enough. The Order does keep us refugees fed and plenty, medicated. To give credit, as I do with blame, where it's due. I'm all ears, Mediator.
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd, and I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help. Unproductive is one thing. Paid Donnybrooks with surrogate fighters is... well, I'm at a loss for an applicative metaphor to describe it. I understand he is rather short-handed.
Yeah. Someone should get right on that, huh? Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis? At Auntie's Choice, we'd view this from a lens of how sickness undercuts productivity.
That is indeed unfortunate, but the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns. Collapsed. But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure, more of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. Aren't you just proving my point? We haven't got the resources, but that's your call, not mine.
By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. What is your decision? Are we to have a stalemate for the rest of our days? This cannot be what the prediction foretold.
You sure about this? I mean, talk about wasted effort on your part.
Well, if this is the fate that was augured, then I will not complain, though it goes against my very nature. Please, be safe. That's all I ask.
Not to worry, Ministrant. The exclusion zone is our problem now. Here. You stay out of trouble. We'll try and do the same.
What happened to this place?
By calculating the positions of every atom.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Protocols not yet charged.
Putting the sprat back in the can.
Wasteland, devoid of life? No, Arcadia is doomed.
What happened to this place?
Every scientician yearns to visit beyond. One day,
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
wordplay, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zeranium Manufactory 7, presently and for an indeterminate time, is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the abbot? We don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir. This is Factor Maytaging. Am I to understand you have orders from the abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Oh. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. You're not getting down below and... So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is. Stay back. We have no desire to escalate things further. Don't do something you'll regret.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's Choice. One of our transport pods, filled with Zeranium, was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space, where they are collected for redistribution. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the explosive nature of the material. Fortunately, we have potentially identified the culprit, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below, a move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
Evidently originated here. Transport pod full of uranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and flinders.
Wait, so has it been classified as an accident? Or an attack?
Initiate Alpha, stand down.
relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at once.
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Once the name took over, I'm not clear to speak with random factors.
Yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. But I'm now realizing how little we actually know about her. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. But I haven't even told you the worst part. How Alva took control. The subsequent, albeit strangely indirect, obloquy and vituperation. The lives lost. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Fervent professements of innocence mostly. You know, exactly what you'd expect a secret traitress to claim. Dramatic attestations that grew quite animated. I suppose spies must build up a flair for histrionics, what with all that hiding their identities and all. Then bursting forth like a pent-up arachnid. At any rate, I have work to do, and you have a saboteur to eliminate, yes? I am so pleased a reliable party is actively engaged. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
Of arachnid's calicity as slavering when it attacked. How much is it?
Of course she's hiding something.
You think those 2 exemplars are strong? They're hardly prone. Involuntary self-injury.
Oh, hello. A visitor.
And who are you, dear?
You're what? Some maverick for hire.
Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Ah, an Auntie's Choice grafted soldier. You poor dear. And someone else. Oh my! That Earth Directorate support mech is a design classic. All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Oh, believe you me, I'd like to know that more than anyone. I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me capable of all this. I was apparently at the wrong point in space at the wrong point in time. Really? Do you see me, a saboteur? Oh, don't they always attempt to, flee the scene? I'll tell you exactly what happened. Our transport pod leveled Outpost Opportunity. I immediately realized someone must have bypassed my terminal. I initiated a lockdown to block further tampering. Had I not, additional attacks may have continued. Now, despite a long record of dedicated service, who's being blamed for this calamity? Me, somehow. I hate to speak poorly of management, but we work folk around the manufactory consider the proctor something of a petty bureaucrat, dear. I assume she's acting as any functionary would, assigning blame to appear in control. Well, you know the type, surely. Dear me, I wish I knew. But, actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. Certainly, of course. If you help me uncover who's responsible, I will gladly open this door. Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds.
This unit recommends prioritizing the mission at this time.
Alva's been here for how many years? I never noticed.
Investigator?
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded.
Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being too discreet.
Our Earth Directorate friend. Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time. Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. A recent security audit brought up several curious messages meant for an unknown party, sent from a terminal somewhere on the premises. We were unable to track down the whereabouts of this mystery terminal, but one message contained certain oblique references to placing blame. Nothing conclusive, yet enough to give me pause.
You examined the launch records, yes? Did you find anything, dear? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to effect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
May all your endeavors add to the equation. Always account for standard deviation.
execution. This unit is capable of complying.
Perpetrators becoming pretty nervous right about now.
Over here.
Ah! Finally, a favorable happenstance. After I became stuck in here, those organisms appeared, all hungry-eyed and slavering profusely. The door jammed. Not sure how. Worked perfectly acceptably earlier. Lockdown and my clumsy fumbling triggered a precautionary security setting. I can't reset it from here, and I'm not particularly enamored of being closed in. Depends on your level of moxie and know-how, I suspect. Let me think. You could try jimmying the door open if you have engineering expertise. Or, I don't know, engage in a routine advanced physical regime. Otherwise, the safety reset is in a wall panel around the corner, though that seems a bit boring for a dynamic sort like you. Oh, then what are you waiting for? Should be able to make quick work of that door. Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. Strange question, but yes, all commands pass through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
theories prove true.
Factor's been in there a while now. Perhaps this conundrum is approaching a solution.
You'd think if she were responsible for the attack, she'd have happily thrown it in my face.
Respecting one's elders is considered good manners in most colonies. Exceptions may be made for violent offenders.
Yes, suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results. I see my choice in you was well-founded. Seradium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. This is anecdotal feedback at best, but I find sometimes a gift helps. Something that makes one feel deserving. And by assisting me, you have proven this. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's right past operations, can't miss it, unless you do. The pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is inside on display. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. Now that you mention it, yes, I recall I was worried about one crisis, and my mind was completely occupied by this other crisis nearby. I must admit, I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope everyone's okay. Not much. Keeps to herself mostly, or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of memory. I am greatly grateful you were helpful and effective. Farewell.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Oh, hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I wholeheartedly agree, but her incompetence hardly absolves her. I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party, so I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you dears to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
The rumors about your department, They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. Perhaps you shouldn't. My earlier endeavors were often disconcerting. But the truth remains. Whatever is happening here, I'm not involved.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
Wait, you can't possibly believe this balderdash. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Updating threat assessment of Marisol Delgado to Hi.
Proctor left her terminal on. Maybe it holds some sign of who she... The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look.
used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. This whole affair reminded me of the old days. The blood, the secrecy, the calculations and intrigue. Been trying to tell myself I didn't miss it. But in action, I fear, ill suits me. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Affirmative. Engaging standby protocols.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place. Not entirely surprised I do so hope you'll forgive my... Not really, no. Innocent and May the plan favor us.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
biomass converter anywhere? Could have swore I left it in the kitchen.
Oh, that green glowing thing? I was slightly experimenting on it. Turns out it produces a surprisingly pleasant smell when oxidized.
Well, if you publish a thesis on that, I'd better get 65% of the profits.
You're now entering an active combat zone. Take all necessary precautions.
Huh.
Wish you were back in Matriarch's mercy?
Tad, can't say I'm much the type to kill folks, and I know.
Aggressors in range.
What's happening?
I was gonna scrap.
Good
one.
Threat detected.
You ain't take them, Cogs.
No, not.
Gotta be close to the switch. Those.
limit further damage, Commander.